What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I am down at Brinkley RV down here in their photo bay to give you a tour of their all new 2025 Brinkley Model I 235, and this is prototype number 2, heading into production here in the following months. This thing is absolutely fantastic, and a novel idea here. A camper made by people who camp. And when you walk into this, you can really see just all the functionality of it. And the cool thing is through talking with the reps down here, is the minor changes that they make as it goes through each one of the stages. So this one is about as complete as it's gonna be, with a couple little tweaks. Like out here on the outside, you got the decal will be shifting over. They're gonna add in a dimmer switch and a couple doors, underneath the bed. And we'll go over all that in this tour, but this is an extremely cool camper. Very, very nice. As we know, the Model Is, are relatively new. Won RV of the year last year. And there's a lot to go over, a lot to love. All the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV, so that way you can access some pricing and some locations on this thing if it interests you. But let's go ahead and jump on in. We're gonna spend about 15 to 20 minutes going through this bad boy and yeah, have some fun. Warranted for full-time living right here. Again, 2025 Brinkley Model I 235. Let's head right on up the steps. And I appreciate the steps because they are, big boy friendly right there. And you guys know me, got a little bit of a round belly to me. So anytime you get a little creature comfort like that, I am definitely appreciative. Let's get this light on right there. The cool thing about the light, since I clicked that on, control panel is going to be right here. But you'll see it is going to be on the dimmer. Anytime you see that little extra line right there, it'll indicate that it is able to be dimmed. But this is what I'm talking about, where, the people at Brinkley actually camp. And it always fascinates me that you have somebody that, I would presume makes very good money, the owners of Brinkley, that they are the actual ones to go out and, test run these RVs. Like something as simple as the fact that that decal right there, because you have Projector where you can see inside, and out. But they noticed that on the outside, having that decal right there might be a little bit of an issue. So since they went camping, since they took the time to do that because they are RVers, they're now shifting that down. Now, the cool thing is about the Projector itself is, one, it has a very clear picture, but now it's got two different types of shades. You have an inside shade, which is, kind of like your Dracula shade. It'll stop the old skin from sizzling, keep some nosy eyes out. But you can see here, it kind of projects onto there. But then they also have an outside shade as well. And this one is going to be much thinner. So you flip the screen and now you can see outside. As you are looking through here, it's a very open, very spacious floor plan. There were a couple people that were wanting a different table setup with the fireplace, so they implemented that. I cannot wait to show you that table. It is very cool how far it comes out, and you have a little bit of storage for your utensils, but open-ended bedroom with a curtain there for privacy. Now that's going to be one of the changes as well. The other Brinkley models that have this bed type setup where the closet is here underneath, which that in itself, when I first saw that, was just crazy. I mean, look at that. That is just too cool for school. I mean, you got a couple shelves, you got a place for your laundry, place to do some hanging items. But in the other models, it's not an issue to not have this bottom portion closed off. But since this is such an open floor plan, they want to just add some doors in there to help accommodate for the aesthetics. Super good window coverage as we're coming along. And then you have probably a 32-inch deep slide right there, which will obviously have, your theater seating directly across from your TV. And then the kitchen bathroom combo is absolutely no schlub. It's kind of crazy that you have an RV that's this size, but they always find a way to break it down so that way the space, is really nice. A couple other things that I want to point out too, maybe you're new to Brinkley, is there's going to be no trim up on the wall, which I really appreciate that. You can see it's just all kind of beaded right there. So there's nothing really to hide. It's a high-end fit and finish. On the exterior, you have the metal siding, which is really cool, which has 40% magnesium in it, just to be a little bit stronger. But let's go ahead and go back to this. And I am going to put the camera down here because I just want to show you what this kind of looks like in, I guess, real time, kind of setting it up, I guess. So you got your fireplace, you got a couple pull-out drawers, but then right here, you have a little bit of extra storage. I'll give you a better view of that here in a second. But this actually pulls out. And you can see how easy that was. Just a really cool way to now have a dinette right there in your living room, and it pulls out much further than the past editions did. So super cool changes. Again, people that camp are making campers. Again, it just makes sense. You know, figure out a way to get it done. Now, this is what I was talking about with the, you know, kind of utensil drawer right here. I think it looks nice. And then to get it in, you just pick it up. It's probably easier with 2 hands there, but you get the job done, baby. Dovetail construction, holds about 80 to 90 pounds there as well. Another thing to point out too is almost all of the camper is going to be inverted outside of the dishwasher prep and the microwave, but even the AC is ran on the 3000 watt inverter. So if you have a pretty decked out, you know, battery system, you can actually run the AC, you know, off that for however long, depends on your battery setup. But at 18K chill cube, this is going to be the ducted one, so you're not going to notice that it has the oscillating portion, because again, it is ducted all the way through, which is nice. All right, so I'm pretty darn excited, so I'm jumping around a little bit. Head height, pretty darn good, probably around 6'6" would be my best guess. Back on over to the bedroom. This is going to be an Olympic queen right here. So really nice size bed, darn near a king, but it is the Olympic queen. I think it's like 2 inches short. But you got the emergency exit, so pull, push, and plop on this side. And then you have a nice little viewing window over here, so that way you can see, you know, the infinity wall down here at Brinkley. Pretty darn crazy room. Just really neat place to be shooting RVs. Now, even like these areas are extremely functional. And if you're not too familiar, well, I don't know where I was going with that. Not too familiar. But right back here, like if you have a CPAP, they actually have that hole right there. So you have a CPAP, and then underneath, you're going to get access to, you know, outlets for all your charging devices. But then you can feed the cord through that, so nothing is really clunky. So it's all put together and visually more appealing. And then obviously you have this beautiful front cap, which would be perfect if you're snuggling up with honey buns and enjoying a good view, which is pretty darn nice. Again, the privacy curtain to give a little bit of separation. And now we are back on over to the slide. So you have the theater seating. It's going to be the manual. So the pull tab is right here. It's going to be one of the preferred manual ones for sure. You got the dual cup holders along with a little bit of extra storage right there. And then when you're sitting down, you know, you pull down the shade. This is the view that you're going to get of the TV in action. So I think you're in a really good spot there. You got plenty of size for the TV to be able to see it really well. And again, just a really comfortable, you know, kind of chilling spot. I mean, look at that. It's a good looking camper, I'll tell you. You know, I'm always asking myself, like, when are they going to change decor? When are they going to change decor? But they don't need to change decor. Just a good looking, timeless look, baby. You got the fancy hinges right there. Look at that. Soft close. I do like that. I didn't open that prior to being in here. I mean, look at that. It's pretty darn special. You got yourself a little adjustable shelving. You can make this a hanging rod, or obviously dresser space, storage. You know, maybe you got some of the grandkids stuff, and you can put that in there. You got your fuse box. This is going to be the auto detect, and basically what that means is you can see what is wrong with it. So like if a fuse blows, it'll glow up nice and red for you. Flipping back on over to here, you're going to get the fancy outlet over in the corner. Again, it is going to be inverted. So you have the outlet, USB and Universal C. You also see the subwoofer prep behind. So all of the Rockford Fosgate Rockford Fosgate speaker system is all going to be wired back under there. So if you want to put a subwoofer, you just lift off this at the dealership level. You can easily lift off the back, install the subwoofer, and it's just a really cool way to get some music bumping for those that want just a little bit of extra oomph. More storage. Love that. I think that's pretty darn snazzy. And then you have the 12-volt refrigerator. So as we know, that is going to be able to run off of the solar, which this has a 200-watt solar panel, I do believe, along with, again, that inverter. But you can also put on 2 additional solar panels. It is going to be wired up and ready for you. And then you have your freezer section down here as well. Convection microwave. So you can do a little bit of baking. Plus you got yourself, you know, the only mode that you need, the old snack mode. You have solid surface countertops all throughout. So babe, if you're watching, I love you. You're also going to get the 3-top burner to whip up all the fixings, along with a nice viewing window too. And you're going to get the old blackout shade, baby. This the Dracula shade. Stop the old skin from sizzling. Keep some nosy eyes out. 3 more drawers here in the kitchen, with the bottom one being a hair larger. And then the old Brinkley classic right here. You got yourself your trash can with a paper towel holder. I think that's super cool. It's one of those things that, you know, they were kind of the first to do it, and everyone's like, aha. Now a lot of people are doing it, but it's just, again, it's such a great idea that nobody ever really thought of. It's just a good way of using space. You got the old Steamer Stink Sucker 3000 right there on the wall, along with a couple J-hooks where you can hang a hoodie on me. You got your stainless steel bowl here with the high-rise faucet. Whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles, along with plenty of storage for all of your cups, maybe some plates, you know, things of that nature. And again, soft close with a magnetic strip there to keep it nice and secure. Underneath here, you do have dishwasher prep. So if you'd like to have a dishwasher, you know, you can have a dishwasher in the Brinkley Model I, baby. All right, so the bathroom, you got your porcelain foot flush throne. It looks a little tight in there, but we all know that Brinkley does the camping, so I'm going to sit down in it. Yeah, it's like just enough room to be super comfortable, which is nice, because it's, you know, you would think it's a little bit small walking in here, but you got to keep in mind, this is a travel trailer, and this is one of the nicer bathrooms in a travel trailer. You got 36 by 30 and a one-piece fiberglass shower. So again, a more of like a motorhome type finish here in that. And then also, you got the Tri-Glide glass series, but you also get pretty good head height in here too. So again, 6 foot, 300 pounds. You're looking at about 6'2", 6'3" here for head height in the bathroom, along with the shower head, and then a little wand right there, and a place for your Goodfellow and your, you know, your loofah. Be careful on that. You never know who's showering there. The bowling gun, baby. Right there, you have the backlight for the window, and as you come along, you know, you have your bowl, and of course, you know, your different shut-off valves and all that. Okay, that's cool. I like that, because I was sitting there, I was like, man, how's that going to open? Nice little kind of like laundry hoop style opening right here. The gas water heater, so as long as you have propane, you're pretty much going to have heat wherever you go. And then you got the little magnetic clips right there, you know, to hang over whatever that thing is. But all right, guys, what do you guys think? If you don't mind, drop a comment, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and yeah, definitely appreciate it. Now we're going to head around the outside. But again, in case you missed it the first time around, all the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description, along with a link for the pricing. But man, I'll tell you, when you walk out here, I just want to show you this room real quick. When you walk out, this is the infinity room where they do a lot of their, you know, their pictures and stuff. It's almost disorienting when you walk in because you can't really see, you know, kind of where it ends. But all right, 2025 Brinkley Model I 235. And again, the Model I won RV of the Year last year. And we all know Brinkley, unless you've been living under a rock. They make a fantastic product. It looks beautiful, even on the exterior. You know, when this thing drives by, you're cruising in style. You know, everybody wants that Brinkley badging on their truck. But you're going to get things like 10-ply, 15-inch tires with the ABS, and it also has kind of, basically to dumb it down, it kind of has like an emergency brake situation to where if it senses you're hammering on the brakes, it'll increase the pressure to really make sure that you are safe. So it even has added safety features there. It's a metal automotive siding, and again, they use the magnesium in it, 40% magnesium, to make it much stronger. So, you know, lately, it feels like down south mainly, because I've been down in Texas a lot, you know, you hear about a lot of the, you know, the hail and things like that. So this is going to be something that protects up really well to, you know, nature itself. Plus, I think you'll agree, it looks really slick, especially when you pair it up with those European style windows. Up on the front cap, there's going to be that huge window, and it looks really nice that we saw from the inside to do a little bit of stargazing or maybe looking out, you know, lakeside, hanging out. But you're also going to get a rock guard down here on the bottom, and then those LED lights heading up, and it curves over the top, which I think is really cool, because that's kind of like the, you know, the details of it. Instead of stopping right here like a lot of brands, it actually curls up and over, which just gives it a nicer aesthetic appeal, in my opinion. You got your power tongue jack. Oversized propane bottles will be right here, so you got 2 of those, and you can put up to 2 batteries here on the A-frame portion itself as well. Another thing that you're looking at is going to be the drop frame. So that's what allows you to have that closet under the bed and really nice pass-through storage. And the storage in here, the part that is nice is, one, obviously it's, you know, you can see all the nice construction features, but it's also going to be heated. So it's going to be climate control for you. And then you use kind of like a toy hauler bottom here. So it's going to be like a rough, tough kind of beat me up material. But then here what they do is they have all your different battery disconnects and a outdoor shower. So hot and cold water here on this side and on the other side too. So you're going to get two of those, which is pretty nice. So whichever side, you know, you need to get something sprayed off. Maybe you got your dog and they got into something, you know, either side, just a little convenience things that start to really add up. You also notice it's not screwed in. So you got all the different rivets right here, which is nice. So again, just comes down to, you know, construction quality. Heated and enclosed underbelly with the LED lights there running underneath. Power stabilizer jacks, outlet for a TV. And then, again, like I said, this decal will be shifting down for the production model. And then that projector, once you put down that second, what do you want to call that? The second Dracula shade is what, you know, I usually say. I don't even know what the actual term is for it. But that's when you'll be able to see it at night. So, you know, put on a good movie. You're hanging down at the campground, chilling here, having a great time. You got the little safety rail. Again, you have the solar panel up top, and as I mentioned, it is able to have linked on an additional two. The awning goes across the entire side here, so it's going to be a perfect place if you want to set up some picnic tables, cornhole, you know, do whatever you do there. But I mean, it's almost the entire length of the RV, which is pretty incredible. A 300-pound hitch rating here on the back bumper. It's going to be a 2-inch receiver, so if you need to bring along, you know, maybe like a bike rack or some extra storage totes, you got plenty of access to do that. And then a ladder with a 250-pound weight capacity. And notice how it's a little bit wider too, which is nice to get on top of your fully walkable roof. You know, check your seals, check your slides there. Backup camera prepped. I recommend the Furrion S Vision. That's just the one that I'm used to, but you can see what's going on behind you with some distance markers. And it's got a little one-way mic, so that way, you know, you guys won't get caught kind of arguing. One person can argue with you. Right here, you have the back end of the Furrion on-demand hot water heater, along with your plug-in. Little place for the stinky slinky, and of course your drain right there. And this is a good time to show you what the rivets are. So it's just like that. So that's just pretty cool. It's just gonna hold up, you know, much longer for you. Just a better way of doing it. Show you that right there. All right, this is going to be your docking station. So like I said, on the front side, this is going to be your second outdoor shower. You also have your electric controls here as well for the extend and retract. And then you have your different bypasses, your city water with the brass fitting, which is nice. And then your black tank flush, which is basically a sprinkler system for your poop tank. And then this is for your fresh water. I mean, look at that. And that just keeps going, but I don't have time to keep pulling it out. But pretty darn cool. And then you just grab it. Whoop. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Hope to catch you next time. Again, my name is Hunter, and this is the 2025 Brinkley Model I 235. Have a great day. See ya. Meow, 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 meow.